gathering of an academic community that both celebrates and punctuates important events in the life of a campus, such as the entrance of new students at the beginning of the academic year, the anniversary of an institution, or the bestowing of academic honors. I am delighted this afternoon to welcome the first-time in college freshmen, transfer students, graduate students, and international students who are joining the UT Dallas community for the very first time. Welcome. Some of you hail from the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, and others of you come from countries as far away as Bangladesh, China, Germany, India, Korea, Mexico, Nigeria, and Turkey. No matter your country of origin, you will find UT Dallas rich with educational opportunities, beginning with the many, many options for degree programs in our 8 schools. Your paths and your passions will be many. If you are first-time in college freshman Comets, would you please stand and be acknowledged? Welcome. Thank you, and be seated. If you are transfer student Comets, would you please stand and be acknowledged? Transfer students? Thank you. Please be seated. If you are graduate student Comets, would you please stand and be acknowledged? Thank you. Please be seated. If you are international student Comets, would you please stand and be acknowledged? Welcome. Thank you. Please be seated. Would all students please rise and give yourself a hand? Welcome to the 2021-2022 academic year. Thank you. Please be seated. Before I continue, let me extend my personal congratulations. Not only were you admitted to UT Dallas, but you also made the decision to become a Comet. Your choice to attend UT Dallas demonstrates that you are comfortable with innovation and change. When you choose to become part of this community, you are no longer a spectator. Only 2 important questions remain. How will you be changed by becoming a Comet? And how will you choose to change this community? Your new orbit starts today. Remember, we are Comets. Please give yourself a round of applause. I would like to share a simple message with you, thoughts about UT Dallas and change. I will speak a bit about our evolution and what it means to the institution, and more importantly, what it means to you, since you are about to contribute significantly to this continuing process. Only 15 years ago, we had 14,500 students, a little over 250 tenured and tenure-track faculty, and a limited degree offering. UT Dallas was small by many standards. We had not reached a point where we had both enough students and enough faculty to compete with the large research-focused universities. On the other hand, through the good service of our university administrators, we had quality, a mission, a strategy, and a process to take us to a more competitive position. With that focus, our future would have been one of idle speculation. Fast forward to today. We have almost 30,000 students this fall, about 565 tenured and tenure-track faculty. We have not only more than doubled our student body and faculty, but we have also significantly increased our physical facility. And today, we offer significantly more academic degrees. These are all physical examples that demonstrate our ability to change for the better. There is a critical underlying philosophy that supports our mission. As we move forward, we do so only when we are certain that our end result will be accomplished at the highest level of quality. This becomes the engagement point for our students, faculty, and staff, as we are all responsible together through collaboration for this strategic process. In the more global sense, we not only receive, but are also required to contribute to make this vision real. There is little room for passive behavior if we are to be successful. For this reason, we have proactively engaged you in this assembly today to celebrate your arrival and to encourage you to take full advantage of the opportunities available to you in our collaborative community here at UT Dallas. For many of you, this will be your first encounter with a formal academic convocation. Soon, you will see faculty processing into the Activity Center wearing academic regalia consisting of a gown, a hood, a cap, and a tassel. For example, my academic gown is Carolina blue, the doctoral gown worn by a graduate of the University of North Carolina. My hood features academic Carolina blue, my school, and signifies that I hold a Doctor of Philosophy degree by the 3 stripes on my gown. My cap and tassel confirm that I earned my PhD at UNC. You may not see academic regalia again until commencement, when you complete your journey at UT Dallas. When we wear regalia, we express our commitment to the search for knowledge, that we are here to serve others, and that we recognize our obligations to all of you present here today. Please know that the individuals that you are about to receive are my colleagues and in many ways a part of my family. I ask that you now welcome the faculty and our speakers. Please rise and remain standing for the procession. Please be seated. I would now like to introduce the university administration seated before you. Colleagues, I ask that you stand when your name is read and that you remain standing. And students, please hold your applause until the introductions are complete. Archie Holmes, Executive Vice Chancellor of the UT System. Richard Benson, University President. Niels Romer, Interim Dean, Arts and Humanities and Arts, Technology, and Emerging Communication. Stephen Small, Dean, Behavioral and Brain Sciences. Jennifer Holmes, Dean, Economic, Political, and Policy Sciences. Stephanie Adams, Dean, Engineering and Computer Science. George Fair, Dean, Interdisciplinary Studies. Hassan Perkul, Dean of Management. Juan Gonzalez, Dean of Graduate Education. And Ted Harpham, Dean of the Honors College. Also joining us today is your Student Government President, Ryan Short, and Vice President, Iman Razak Machiwala. Please be seated. It is now my pleasure to welcome to the podium the President of the University of Texas at Dallas, Dr. Richard Benson.
Thank you, Provost Musselman, and good afternoon, everybody. And as I look out on this audience, I would surmise that many of you grew up in Texas, while many others are from other states and other countries. And wherever you call home, we are delighted to welcome you into the UT Dallas community. There is nothing better than seeing our community on campus again, engaging with one another, and making the most of being Comets reunited. After the interruptions of the last year and the start of this semester is one of the most significant in our university's history. We are doing our best to chart a path forward, a new normal, if you will, after a year and a half of upheaval caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. We are also doing things a little differently as a result of deeper focus on matters of justice and equity. UT Dallas's recently updated strategic plan reflects both of these driving forces. So what might business as usual entail at UT Dallas at the start of the 2022 academic year? In brief, it means a focus on community. And that's what I wish to talk about. And then I will share a few thoughts about how to make the most of your time here. First and foremost, Comets look out for each other. We are responsible not only for ourselves, but also for others, especially now when we must work together to ensure a safe environment. And if I might go off script, there's a vaccination site underway just down the hall. They're open till 6 o'clock. So if you haven't gotten your vaccine yet, it's free right down the hall. Okay. Comets respect diversity. You'll be living, learning, and working with people with a wide range of backgrounds. Take joy in that and be open to understanding the experiences of others and treating your new classmates and colleagues with kindness and respect. Comets create and innovate. We embrace new approaches to design, new methods to solving problems, and new influences in music and art. Comets are fierce competitors, not just in the athletic arenas, but also in mock trial or business ideas competitions, even chess matches and esports tournaments. Perhaps you've heard we're pretty good at those things. And it goes without saying that Comets are bright. Our university has a strong foundation in the STEM disciplines, business, and increasingly the humanities and arts. Strong academic programs are led by stellar faculty that will challenge you intellectually. I chose to be a part of this community, to become a Comet, and I am so happy that you made the same choice. As I said, today is very distinctive. It is the first day of us getting back to our future, back to your future, and back to being a community. Some of your fellow Comets have some thoughts about getting back to the future, and let's hear what they have to say. I think we have a video. In 2020, overnight, everything changed, from the classroom to research to events and day-to-day interactions. But that doesn't mean that we ever stopped. We kept our campus running, operational, and prepared for your return. And now, with the vaccine and safety protocols, it is safe to go back.
Back to a beautiful and diverse campus.
Back to giving back.
Back to winning championships.
Back to teaching that next generation of artists.
The new generation of teachers.
Back to Texas weather. Back to serving.
And protecting.
Back to home.
Back to exploring the galaxies.
The arts. The brain.
Back to making discoveries.
Back to school spirit.
Back to gardening.
Back to the classroom.
Back to making lifelong friendships.
Back to finding your home away from home.
Back to a welcoming and inclusive campus.
And now it's time to go back to your future at the University of Texas at Dallas.
So comments, your future is indeed bright, and our community is better for you being a part of it. And speaking of the future, as in today, you are going to face a few challenges that require some choices only you can make. So as is my annual tradition, I have a few suggestions. Choose to explore campus, intentionally or unintentionally. With our move to virtual events over the past year, many of you haven't had the opportunity to roam through our halls or walk down the Margaret McDermott Mall. Fortunately, we've had an online map and an app that with point-by-point directions to help you navigate. But I also hope that you will make some discoveries in the process of finding your way around. A great place to study, a new place to sip coffee in the morning, a comfortable place to catch up with friends. Choose to be open to new pursuits. Look for ways to connect, to be even more engaged with your community. I encourage you to take a different path by finding new activities or revisiting favorite extracurriculars. Sports maybe. What about trying out for a theater production or joining a club? The options are almost limitless. And if you can't find exactly what you want, our many student service professionals are here to guide you. And choose to get a jump start on your future. As part of business as usual, you can investigate internships, consider study abroad programs, seek out research opportunities, or enter academic competitions, to name just a few. They provide experience and skill that will enhance your degree and really your life to come. So comments, let's enjoy being together in this moment. Today marks the beginning of your future at Dallas. I'm delighted that you're here. Whoosh. We got a couple who know how to do a good whoosh. That's good. Now it is my great pleasure to introduce Dr. Archie Holmes, the Executive Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs for the University of Texas System. Dr. Holmes and I share a few things in common. We both began our careers as engineers before becoming professional educators, and we both held academic posts in universities in Virginia prior to taking our current positions. Dr. Holmes knows the UT system very well and from every angle. He received his bachelor's degree in electrical engineering from UT Austin in 1991. Later, in 1997, he received his PhD, also in electrical engineering, from the University of California, Santa Barbara. He has served on the faculty of the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering at both UT Austin and the University of Virginia, and along the way received numerous awards for his teaching and advising. Just prior to returning to Texas, Dr. Holmes served the University of Virginia as the Vice Provost for Academic Affairs. So please welcome our distinguished University of Texas colleague, Executive Vice Chancellor Archie Holmes.
Thanks for that kind introduction, President Benson. Good afternoon, everybody. All right, Comets, you can do better than that. Good afternoon, everybody. All right, that's much, much better. I'm very happy to be here and to have the chance to address you as you begin your academic pursuits here at UT Dallas. If I think of the one thing that I want you to take away from my brief remarks, it is this. Using and cultivating the skill of intentional reflection is something that I feel will help you make the most of your time here. So, when I mention reflection, what do I mean? As you might imagine, there are many definitions. In physics, reflection is the throwing back of light, heat, or sound by a body or surface without absorbing it. One of my favorites is in mathematics. the conceptual operation of inverting a system or event with respect to a plane, each element being transferred perpendicularly through the plane to a point the same distance the other side of it. Wow, that is a mouthful. What I have in mind for you today, I would suggest the following definition. Reflection is a thing that is a consequence of or arises from something else. You will encounter many situations where you have an academic or non-academic choice to make. These choices are not independent of each other. Our prior knowledge and experience, among other things, either consciously or unconsciously affects the future. Making sure that your next action is a direct conscious consequence of what has come before, I feel, will best serve you. So how do you build this skill? My advice is that you ask yourself 3 questions when completing an activity or attending an event. Why did you choose this activity or attending this event in the first place? What did you learn from the activity or event? And what are you going to do differently because of the experience? This skill was important in me in finding a vocation from which I obtained great satisfaction. In fact, if you told me then that I would ever serve in this role at the University of Texas system, I would have asked you if the job of Executive Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs was real, or just a bunch of words put together to make something sound interesting. And if you told me what the job was and what it did, I would have had absolutely no interest in it. So my story to you begins 35 years ago when I was sitting in your seats about to begin my electrical engineering education at your sister institution in Austin. At the time, I only wanted to take math and science classes. I mean, what else does an engineer need? And to be done as quickly as possible. The faculty there had the foresight to require that I take more than math and science classes. So in my first semester, I took a philosophy class, Contemporary Moral Problems, to satisfy my Humanities Fine Arts elective. What I learned from that experience was transformational. I discovered that I enjoyed reading complex text and using what I learned in arguing about how we should address issues like the death penalty and euthanasia. I recognized that the 5 I received on my AP English exam did not mean that my education in written communications was complete. In fact, I still had a lot to learn. I realized that I had strengths, talents, and interests of which I was not aware, which led me to take upper division courses in the humanities and social sciences, including one in the creative writing of poetry, to supplement the wonderful technical education I received. In retrospect, these experiences have made me a stronger and better engineer and helped me realize that higher education, a place I have not left in these 35 years, was the right place for me. In closing, the American writer Margaret Wheatley said the following about reflection. Without reflection, we go blindly on our way, creating more unintended consequences and failing to achieve anything useful. While that statement is somewhat hyperbolic, I agree with the general sentiment. With reflection, I posit that you will expand your horizons, move outside of your comfort zone, and have meaningful interactions with your UTD faculty and staff and your fellow students. Engagement, especially in the middle of a pandemic, will take on many forms, both virtual and in person. We all recognize the value of in-person engagement. To ensure that you and all members of the COMET community are able to take advantage of this safely, I strongly encourage you and everyone else to get vaccinated and to follow the safety guidelines being outlined by the university. At the end of your time as a COMET, intentional reflection will help you make most of the incredible opportunities here at UT Dallas. When it comes time for you to graduate, I firmly believe that you will have fully developed your talents, obtained a greater awareness of and empathy for the problems facing the world, and be equipped with the knowledge and skills needed to address these problems and thrive in both your personal and professional career. Thank you very much for your attention. Provost Musselman, I'm turning the program back to you.
Thank you, Dr. Holmes. Now a word about Orbit, our program for keeping students on track. Comets, look around you. You will see faculty, staff, and administrators who are focused on helping you reach your goals. To that end, you will find a range of opportunities associated with our Student Success Initiative, Orbit, keeping new comets on course, through which you can engage, explore, and discover pathways to success during your first year at UT Dallas that will lead to your exciting future. Orbit is designed for all new comets, freshmen, transfer, international, and graduate students. For freshman students, we have first-year seminar courses and access to the Freshman Mentor Program to help with the transition into college life. Our first student speaker is a rising junior marketing major and theater minor who came to UT Dallas as an incoming freshman from Las Vegas, Nevada. He is an active member of the student body, currently serving as a star tour guide for the Visitor Center, a freshman mentor, a member of the Davidson Management Honors Program, and the executive chair of Traditions for the Student Ambassador Program. I now invite to the podium Troy Murray.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you're all having a wonderful time at Convocation thus far. I'm so humbled to see everyone currently in attendance tonight. Oh, who am I kidding? This is the most excited I've been in over a year. Let me start over and get things kicked off the right way. Hello, incoming comets, and welcome to UT Dallas. You have no idea how much I've missed this campus and all of the people who inhabit it. For everyone I haven't had the pleasure of meeting at freshman orientations this year, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Troy Murray, and I am a rising junior marketing major and theater minor here at UTD. Can't you tell? Though I am originally from Las Vegas, Nevada, I have always considered this university my second home, and for several good reasons. When I first came to Richardson in fall of 2019, I had an immense fear of what the future had in store for me. Not only was I starting college in a brand new city with all new faces, but I was moving over 1,000 miles away from the place I lived my entire life. Despite this drastic shift in environment, however, I knew this was a fantastic opportunity. I wanted to make the most of my time at UTD by getting connected with campus, taking on all challenges, and genuinely embracing the Comet lifestyle. So once I got on campus, I started right away. Upon moving into the residence halls my freshman year, I decided to take the first step in reaching out to my neighbors. I remember the confidence I had as I walked up to my neighbors and I strutted over to their doors on my hallmates and knocked on them, only for me to say something like, "Hi, my name is Las Vegas and I'm from Troy Murray. How are you?" Yeah, not so smooth on my part. Despite my nervousness, sweaty palms, and immense fear of being rejected, my neighbors all embraced me for who I was. With the ice officially broken, it wasn't long before my hall became a close-knit friend group that supports and cares for one another to this very day. The relationships I developed with these people in such a short time remind me now even that support systems at UT Dallas are easy to come by, as long as you just reach out to those sitting right next to you. Once classes got underway, I also decided to regularly attend my professor's office hours. I not only want to ask questions about the course material, but I wanted to know who they are as people and take in all the wisdom that they could offer me. Was it intimidating at first, walking into their offices and asking about their life stories? Was I scared that they would turn me away for not asking questions about some of the classes? Absolutely. But by doing so, I managed to form some solid relationships founded on genuine interest and mutual understanding. So I always encourage my classmates to get to know their instructors, because you never know when you might just need them for a letter of recommendation or some general advice as you venture forth into your college career. While these connections have certainly made me feel at home here, the one thing that has made my time at UT Dallas all the more worthwhile is campus involvement. By participating in groups like the Orientation Leader Program, the Freshman Mentor Program, and the Student Ambassador Program, I've been able to find my voice at UTD and become acquainted with such driven, passionate, and aspiring individuals. Now, I know a lot of you may be hesitant to get involved on campus your first year due to worries about grades or fitting in, but I promise you that participating in a club you are passionate about will significantly enhance your college experience. It may sound easier said than done, but take me for an example. After only 2 years at UT Dallas, I have taken on 3 leadership positions, 3 jobs, 8 organizations, 2 internships, and over 60 volunteer hours, all while still maintaining a GPA of over 3.9. Now, I'm not saying, oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Now, I'm not saying that you need to get this involved in campus, but take it from someone who fills their plate to the maximum limit and still manages to get 8 hours of sleep at night, that anything is possible as long as you manage your time effectively. As we go into the new school year, class of 2025, remember that your time in college is what you make of it. Instead of questioning the chances that you get, embrace them. Instead of letting fears consume you, face them. No matter how big your dreams may be, chase them. The only thing standing between you and the success you deserve here is hesitation. So always shoot for the stars and make this new chapter of your life truly one for the books. Thank you all so much for your time and attention. I'm greatly looking forward to all the memories we will make this year and seeing everyone here soar like the comets we were meant to be. Until we cross paths again, enjoy your time at UT Dallas and best wishes.
Thank you so much, Troy. For the transfer students, Orbit provides a Transfer Mentor Program, an Office of Transfer Student Services, and multiple opportunities for campus involvement. Our next student speaker is a recent marketing graduate who came to UT Dallas as a transfer student from Richland Community College. As a DACA recipient and first-generation graduate, she aspires to be an advocate for other first-generation students through mentorship. She's looking forward to returning to UT Dallas for her master's degree in spring of 2022. I now invite to the podium Laura Martinez.
Thank you, Provost Musselman. Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm so glad to see you all today. My name is Laura. I'm a first-generation Latina graduate with a bachelor's degree in marketing, and I'm honored to be here to welcome you to this great university. I was a transfer student just like some of you and transferred from Richland Community College. I remember feeling overwhelmed with emotions, being both scared and excited when I stepped foot on campus for the first time. As I sat in my first class, we were going around sharing introductions and sharing work experience. And the students in my class were working on some amazing things with big companies. Some even had their own businesses. I was very intimidating and thought I wasn't good enough to be here. And it wasn't until someone told me, if you think they're smart and they're here, you have to see that you're here as well for a reason. Those very simple words made me realize that I did belong here, and I had earned my spot just like everyone else. If you find yourself feeling like I did and doubt yourself as classes start, remember that you did earn your spot and you deserve to be here just like everyone else. I would also like to encourage you all to get involved around campus. Try to find your place here because it does make your experience much more enjoyable. I know that as non-traditional students, it can be difficult to get involved because we have different responsibilities and different priorities. Joining the Transfer Mentor Program during my senior year was one of the best decisions I made. My only regret was not joining sooner because some of the best experiences that I had were because of this program. I became a mentor and friend to 2 women that had also transferred from community college. And the relationships that I built with them over the course of last year helped me more than I ever expected. Being part of the Transfer Mentor program also opened up doors for me with the relationships that I built with the staff that run the program. And one of the best things of this university is that there really are resources for everyone. We really want you to succeed and thrive in what you set your mind to. And with that, I would like to extend myself as a resource as well. If anyone would like to reach out, feel free to do so. And I want to welcome you again to UTD.
Thank you so much, Laura. As I noted earlier, Orbit is designed for international students as well. Through our intercultural programs, iFriend program, we work to match our new international students with domestic students as a way to introduce you to the university and to life in a new country. Additionally, the international students and Scholars Office and Office of Graduate Education provide programming and workshops to help international students integrate into our campus community. Satwik Dutta is a second-year PhD student in the Electrical and Computer Engineering Department, pursuing research under the supervision of Dr. John Hansen. He is currently working on developing algorithms to understand speech and language development in preschool children. For the academic year 2020-2021, he served as the Vice President for Administration and School Representative of the Eric Johnson School of Engineering and Computer Science to the Graduate Student Assembly. Currently, he serves as the Public Relations Lead of the Student Activities Committee of IEEE Engineering in Medicine and Biology Society at the global level. I now invite to the podium Satwik Dutta.
Thank you, Provost Musselman. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the Comet family. My name is Satwik, and I'm a second-year PhD student in the Electrical and Computer Engineering program. I joined UTD in fall 2018 as a master's student and continued in the PhD program. 3 years back, I started my journey as an international student at this amazing place, the place I call my second home. Today, I'm excited to share some key points with you that might help you in your academic journey at UTD. So let's get started. First, study hard. Remember the reason you are here. Coursework will be hard and strenuous. You have to push on. Next, time management. Even today, I struggle managing time, but I'm in a much better place than I was 3 years back. So start planning early. Next, collaborate. If you are given an opportunity in your coursework or research, try to collaborate with your peers. You learn faster in a team and can solve problems together. You learn to brainstorm as well. All these qualities are immensely preferred in industry, academia, startups, nonprofits, or any other organization. Next, volunteer. UTD gave me many opportunities to volunteer, the most memorable being volunteering for the Graduate Student Assembly, voicing for our graduate students on campus. Join a student organization of your choice. There are so many options here. Next, challenge yourself. I have never spoken in front of such a huge crowd. Imagine getting butterflies in your stomach when you see hundreds of faces staring at you. Well, I am sure when I leave the stage today, I conquer fear and gain some confidence to speak. Similarly, there will be challenges thrown at you every day. Grab them and conquer. Finally, as a foodie, I will end with a food note. Go and explore the local American and Tex-Mex cuisines as well as other global options. Dallas has so many varieties to explore: Mediterranean, Ethiopian, Thai, Japanese, Desi, Turkish, and many more. So Comets, stay safe and enjoy. Whoosh.
Thank you so much, Satwik. Graduate students, Orbit is for you too. With our focus on faculty and research engagement, and with a graduate student assembly that represents your interests on campus, we have many opportunities to make your time here productive. Further, the Office of Graduate Education provides students advice and support that will benefit them in their graduate and postgraduate careers. I'm sure you will find great benefit from the resources we have in place for your advanced studies, just as our next speaker did. Kara Peak is entering her 5th and final year as a PhD student in the bioengineering department in Dr. Victor Varner's lab. In addition to her research, which applies developmental biomechanics to understand the branching of the embryonic lung airway, she serves as the president of the Graduate Student Assembly. Kara has a passion for advocating for her fellow graduate students and enjoys relaxing by roller skating and playing with her rescue dog, Ruby. I now invite to the podium, Kara Peak.
Thank you, Provost Musselman. Bring this up a little. Hey, Comets, and welcome to UT Dallas. As you heard, my name is Kara, and I'm starting out my 5th and final year in graduate school here at UTD. So I've learned a few things over these past years. Many of you are coming to UTD for the first time, whether you are an undergraduate or graduate student here. One of the biggest lessons I have learned is to prioritize work-life balance and mental health. As graduate students, it is very easy to spend all day focused on research and barely even stop for a meal. However, I would urge you all to make a conscious effort to carve out time for yourself, to not only take care of your basic needs, but to have some fun as well. Make friends with the people in your lab, department, and just other students here at UTD by attending different on-campus events and getting involved with a student organization. Obviously, I am partial to my own organization of the Graduate Student Assembly, but check out the hundreds of student organizations that boast a range of interests. I also mentioned the importance of mental health. As students here at UTD, we are all fortunate enough to have access to free individual, couple, and group counseling courtesy of the Student Counseling Center. I myself have used these services and encourage you all to check out their resources. Whenever you have tough times, perhaps when experiments aren't working out, you're behind on grading for the class UTA, and haven't even gotten the opportunity to start studying for the midterm coming up next week, you might start to question why you came to graduate school in the first place. And this is totally not speaking from experience. Now, all jokes aside, these hard moments are when you need to fall back on your support system for help. Many of you probably have or are currently experiencing something similar and can offer advice and simply a listening ear. While you are here to get an education, the memories and relationships you make along the way will really be what you remember most. I can't wait for you all to start forming these new memories here at UT Dallas. Good luck and go Comets.
Thank you so much, Kara. And let's thank all 4 of these student speakers. I would now like to invite to the podium our student government president, Ryan Short, to share with you the significance of the university's ceremonial mace.
Thank you, Dr. Musselman. Fellow Comets, this is the official ceremonial mace of our great university. The tradition of the mace derives from a practice in medieval England when the mace was held by a bodyguard for dignitaries at ceremonial functions. Ceremonial maces are used worldwide by any number of institutions, including American universities. As a symbol of UT Dallas, our mace is crafted out of the wood taken from the treaty oak in Austin, Texas. The treaty oak stood beneath each of the 6 flags that have flown over the land. It represents the stability, longevity, and independent spirit that makes Texas so distinctive. At the mace's core is a wafer embedded with microchips from Texas Instruments. This wafer connects us to our origins and our continuing strong relationship with Texas Instruments. It also reflects our commitment to advancing science and technology. The metal frame was forged from a scientific instrument designed by UT Dallas and used in experiments conducted aboard the Space Shuttle Endeavour. As you can see, the mace represents the impressive history and promising future for our university. This mace is a part of me, my classmates, and the thousands of graduates who have walked these grounds before you. Today, it becomes a part of you and a part of all our classmates who are now UT Dallas Comets. As our university grows and matures, its success will forever reflect on you, just as your accomplishments will serve as signs of our university's excellence. UT Dallas welcomes all of you to our home. Please welcome back to the podium Provost Musselman for closing remarks. Whoosh.
Comets, our mission is to prepare you to be engaged, democratic citizens who serve others in a variety of ways. We are confident that if you take advantage of the opportunities you have here at UT Dallas, you will leave with the ability to manage your career, deal with success and adversity, and appreciate the diversity that defines our environment. Our students expand their orbits by serving their peers, the university, and the greater community. Comets have embraced this concept by volunteering in an on-campus food pantry known as the Comet Cupboard, taking part in organized service events through living, learning communities and student organizations, and participating in events coordinated by the Office of Student Volunteerism. Understand that service must be freely given with no expectation of return. You will be comets in the best sense of the word. Comets, welcome to your future. Before we conclude, we would like to introduce another UT Dallas tradition, the alma mater. While you don't yet know the words, I encourage you to learn them. You will one day sing this at your graduation. Please rise for the singing of our alma mater, recorded and performed by the student musical group Novus.
UT Dallas, orange and green, founders' visionary dream, to inflame the scholar's heart, lighting pathways through the dark, reaching out from earth to space, serving all the human race, joined as one in unity, alma mater UTD.
Will the audience please be seated? Before we conclude, let me thank the donors who contributed prizes for today's scratch-off giveaways, those with winning tickets for the Skull Candy wireless earbuds, the Stash Power battery backup, or the Cooler Master gaming combo. Wow. Please meet us in the atrium of the Visitor Center to claim your prizes. For all other prizes, you can claim those at the appropriate locations referenced on your ticket. Thank you for attending University Convocation. Best luck as you embark on your journey at UT Dallas. Well, wait 1 minute, please. Please sit down. Please be seated. Everyone, please be seated. Thank you. In a moment, the stage party will recess through the rear doors of the auditorium, after which you, the students, may leave from the doors where you entered, exit out the north entrance, and turn right to join us for the Welcome Back Bash on the campus mall, sponsored by Student Affairs. Please stand as the stage party exits through the rear doors of the auditorium.